Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Greetings to all of you who come from the Philippines and to those who are joining in from all over the world. Mabuhay! Now let me begin with the words from John Maxwell. He says in his book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, that momentum is a leader's best friend. The problem is, these days, COVID-19 has disrupted everybody's momentum. Question is, how do we begin anew? The title of my presentation is Towards a New Momentum, Regaining Your Drive Towards a Purposeful and Productive Life Within and Beyond this pandemic. But first of all, I would like to focus on the need for this webinar and for this session. As experts say, we have to be clear about the problem so we could find the exact solution. Precise diagnosis and treatment should go hand in hand. So let's do that. It is obvious that COVID-19 pandemic has placed the world on sudden, long, unwanted, devastating stop. Since the beginning of this year, January, it has been wreaking havoc all over the world, not just on individual lives, but also on businesses and national economies. And yet, nothing can be compared to the complications it is now causing to the mental health of people. Today, people are confused, discouraged, disillusioned, having lost maybe their job or business or loved ones, or maybe having lost so many opportunities that could have brought them closer to their dreams. This is what I was talking about as the momentum that they were supposed to be in, and yet disrupted by COVID-19. Towards the end of April this year, I personally got invited to join a team of faculty and students of a seminary who were setting up an online counseling service. And this is what he told me, or they told me. We need all the help that we could get. Now, this proves that there is really an unprecedented surge in the number of people who are in need of someone to reach out, just someone to talk to maybe, or just to give, provide a listening ear. Or if they could, maybe they could lend really a hand. I heard somebody made this complaint. He said, my business and my life as a whole were already on a roll before the lockdown happened. And then everything came to a halt. All my plans were disrupted. My business crumbled. I don't feel any urge to start anew. I just don't have enough strength left. Another put it this way, I don't know how and where to start again. So this is the emotional and psychological state of people. And because of this, many have given up on life altogether. Others are on their way there. It has been reported that there had been or has been an upsurge in feelings of suicide, and that suicide rate is expected to go up during and even beyond this pandemic. Look at this report published March 23, 2020. It says in the USA Today online newspaper, isolation is a big trigger. Feelings of suicide are amplified amid a pandemic. Another one is from the International Journal of Medicine, and it emphasized that suicide rate is high during and even after pandemic, and even those who have already survived COVID-19 may still be at actually at an elevated suicide risk. From a newspaper in Israel, it says that it is reasonable to predict a rise in suicide. And actually, even as early as April 7, 2020, this was reported in MSN News. Suicide, drug abuse, and domestic violence are on the rise due to coronavirus quarantine measures. So this is the general situation nowadays worldwide. The question is there a way to regain one's drive in life? My answer is yes. So how does one work his way towards a new momentum? This is the purpose for my presentation today. I now offer a 4-step process. And this process is very easy to remember because they are composed of 4 keywords beginning with the letter M. These 4 words are motivations, motion, moments, momentum. Let me repeat: motivations, motion, moments, momentum. So let's go to number 1. If we ask, how do we work our way towards a new momentum? Number 1 is this: revisit your motivations. Now, by the way, I am using the word motivation here synonymously and interchangeably with the words goal, dream, vision, purpose, mission. Because motivation is our reason for acting in a certain way. And then on an objective sense, motivation is the thing that we aspire for. So really the word dream is exact in this, for this meaning. So we need to ask ourselves this question: why do I want a new momentum? What are my reasons for wanting to get out of this unproductive period in my life? Why do I need to get out of bed ready to accomplish something? These are probing questions aimed at digging up our motivations. I firmly believe this. When we know our why, we can fly. Because dreams keep people alive. Dreams are actually expressions of hope, and hope is very important for people. So we need to revisit our dreams that motivate us to accomplish something. Now, Stephen Covey calls this process as beginning with the end in mind, which means to start life or to start our career or to start a project or what have you with a clear understanding of where you want to go. You know, your destination or your end. We cannot deny the fact that the deeper our reason for accomplishing something is, the more motivation we get from it. The clearer our dreams are, the greater effect it has or they have on us. So do you want a new momentum? Have you lost your inner motivation? I propose that you revisit your objective motivations, your dreams, your purpose, those things that you aspire for, because that's where a new momentum in your life can begin. But of course, it doesn't stop there, because the next step is to set yourself in motion. Let me make it clear again, because maybe some of you have read what Benjamin Franklin said one time: never confuse motion with action. It's also true. Technically, they're somehow different, or we may see them as two different words. But in this presentation, I will be using the two words synonymously and interchangeably. I don't want to split hairs, as they call, uh, for this presentation. By motion, I mean action, determined and intentional action. If our motivations can set us in motion, meaning they get us into action, then they have fulfilled their purpose. Because you see, without action, our motivations get no validation. Even the noblest of intentions without determined action will never be productive, will never come to fruition, will never have any production. People who accomplish their mission take action. If you want to begin a new momentum, set yourself in motion. So again, let me ask you this. What positive and productive actions are you engaged in right now in order to realize your dreams? Are they strategic, that you are acting on them to fulfill your dreams? What are they? Revisit your motivations, set yourself in motion, and then the third, be sensitive to moments of inspiration. Now say this with me. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Again, I learned this from Dr. John C. Maxwell, and it's true. All motions meet resistance. Therefore, any action that we take towards our dream will meet resistance. We will face difficulties. There will be discouragements along the way. And these difficulties will test our inner stamina. In fact, at times we will come to our wits' end. We will be ready to give up. But there's a good news. During those times of discouragements, in the midst of those will come moments of inspiration that will give us encouragement, that will fuel us in the next part of our journey. The resistance, the difficulties will discourage us, but these moments, what people call eureka or aha moment, when there's a sudden realization, inspiration, insight, recognition, or comprehension, a quick moment of great idea that will catapult us into something great. I call them moments of inspiration. And they are very important for us. I wonder, let me give you this example by Thomas Edison. I wonder how he, having failed 10,000 times in making the light bulb, could still say these words: I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Now, who would not think that during those times when he was failing 10,000 times, do you think that he did not feel like giving up? No. Actually, I just like me, just like you and me, many times he felt discouraged and ready to give up. But that moment, that one moment of realization that came upon him which says every failed attempt is a learning experience. That moment made a difference in his life. And of course, the rest is history. Sometimes just one word, one pat in the back, one text message, one positive comment on our post, a cup of coffee with a friend, with a boss, with a client, with a subordinate, with a loved one. An embrace or smile from a child is all that it takes to fan into flame the remaining ember within, as it were. At other times, words, simple words from a coach, a line from a song, an idea from a trainer, a restful moment in our sofa. Maybe by taking a nap and having a dream, a literal dream, or while playfully and casually doing our job. Those moments of inspiration could come. In fact, they do come. It's just that there are times when we were insensitive and negative. Where was your latest inspiration from? Be open. Be sensitive. They're just around. The number 4, persist until your new momentum comes. Now, for me, momentum is what I call the series of success or chain of successes in one's life and career. Those are the series of breaks and breakthroughs that come in a person's life, and it seems there's no end to it and there's no stopping to that person because of that moment. Business is up and going very well. Professional life may be on a roll, and maybe for church people, ministry is thriving. Those are what we call momentum. But how do they come? Now, momentum comes when someone perseveres in times of difficulties and capitalizes on, again, as I said, moments of inspiration instead of giving into discouragement and giving up. Instead, this is what he does. He prays, he works hard, and pushes forward until, those tiny and sporadic successes become big and frequent, and then bigger and more frequent, until these tiny successes, which has become big, are now too close together that they seem to form an unbroken chain of success. I know a local author who took years writing his first book, but he took it very positively, especially the many things he learned from that experience. And after a year, he published his second, and then the next. Now, he has 13 books under his name. Talk about momentum. Let me end with this story, true story from a local shoemaker. In the 1990s, there was this brand of shoes in the Philippines that was about to close. Their shoe design seems to be way ahead of their time, that even the young people were not paying attention. The owner was so desperate at that time that he, even though he wasn't a Christian, he heeded the suggestion of a Christian friend to go up on the prayer mountain and pray really hard for his business. And this is the thing. While he was praying, something was happening actually down the mountain. A dance group bought his shoes and wore it for their dance number on national television. The effect was immediate and unforeseen. Young people flocked to their shop and emptied their shelves. We all have dreams. And when we are very passionate about those dreams, they drive us to take action. What awaits our steps, of course, is resistance. And yet, within those times of difficulties, moments of inspiration and encouragement come unnoticed. But if we are open and sensitive, we would spot them and utilize them to our advantage. If we are persistent enough, a new momentum will begin and it will bring us closer to our dreams. Brothers, business people, whoever you are, it is always too soon to quit. In fact, many quit too soon, too often, that no momentum in their life and career is ever formed. Quit thinking about quitting because a new momentum awaits you. Thank you so much.